Kalata, hello to you. Always a pleasure talking to you, journalist and son of one of the Cradock Four. Tell me what this is actually about. It's very, very serious when you hear that commissioners of the TRC, who were pivotal in South Africa's reconciliation and healing as a country, writing a letter to the country's president. What do they want?
Gareth, good afternoon. Well, I think it's a very bold step by the former commissioners of the TRC for them to actually, write this letter to the president. There are two things that they actually, in essence, calling for. The first is for the president to, in essence, apologize to families such as mine, that were affected by TRC, murders, or at least apartheid murders. And also the lack of prosecution of those murders. And then secondly, the former commissioners would like the president to actually establish a commission of inquiry that will look into the possible suppression of the cases by the National Prosecuting Authority. And I'll tell you why. In the case of the Cradock Four, which obviously involves my father, Fort Kalata, his colleagues, Matthew Goniwe, Sparum Konto, and Sicelo Mhlauli, that case saw at least two inquests. The first started in 1989, where it was found, obviously, that no one was to blame for the murders of the Cradock Four. Second, there was a second inquest that started in 1993. The judgment in the second inquest was delivered about 18 days after former President Nelson Mandela had actually taken office. And in that second inquest, Judge Neville Zitzman found that the apartheid government was actually responsible for the murders of the Cradock Four. He couldn't, however, pinpoint which individuals were directly linked or could be directly implicated in the murders of my father and his comrades. So what was then supposed to happen was, after 1996, with the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, when that was set up, it was set up, there was a clause in it that said, if you are denied amnesty, for whatever reason by the TRC, you are then liable for prosecution. Now, those that had applied for amnesty for the murders of the Cradock Four were all denied amnesty on the basis that they had actually lied and had failed to disclose the entire truth behind the murders of the Cradock Four. So that happened in about 1998. Yeah. So ever since 1998 till 2019, we are still sitting and waiting, in essence, for the government and for the National Prosecuting Authority to actually prosecute those people that were, that were denied amnesties for the murders of the Cradock Four.
Look, so I know you've written, forgive me, I don't mean to interrupt, Lukhanyo, forgive me. Has there been any response from the president? Forgive my interruption. Has there been a response from the president on this?
Gareth, I think, the letter was only sent to the President's office last night. So we haven't yet heard anything coming from the office of the President. And it's understandable, he is dealing with the State of the Nation address and obviously going down to Parliament and officially opening the parliamentary calendar. But we do expect to hear something from him in that State of the Nation address. If not, then definitely by Friday, we would expect to have an answer from the President.
Perhaps a final question to you. As you were alluding to earlier, since all those years ago to 2019, you are still seeking the apologies, you're still seeking clarity. Had you sent or do we know if any of the commissioners had sent letters to the former presidents of South Africa, or is it only now since President Ramaphosa has come to power?
Gareth, I think, families such as the Timol family, the Simelane family, I have been requesting and trying to make as much noise as I possibly could to the governing party, the ANC, and obviously, some of its former presidents as well. This isn't the first time that their families have been coming together and requesting some sort of assistance from both the governing party, the ANC, and obviously obviously the presidents of the Republic. So this isn't the first time that, that we as the families have been calling for justice. What's significant about this is that now, for the very first time, we actually have the support of people that were directly working with Archbishop Desmond Tutu and Dr. Alex Boraine in the TRC, people that know what the TRC was actually set up about. So that's the actual significant aspect of this letter.
I appreciate you, as always, coming in to speak to us, and no doubt we'll follow up once there has been a response, I'm sure, from the presidency, or perhaps if there's no response from the presidency, we'll also follow up on that, speaking to us this afternoon.